How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. The following are 10 of the most cursed books that have ever been written. But just quickly before we get into it, as always, remember to hit that red subscribe button for more interesting, creepy content just like this.
The Necronomicon is a cursed and nightmarish book that's said to contain the power to resurrect the dead. Roughly translated, its title means an image of the law of the dead, and is described as being bound in human skin. In the beginning, the Necronomicon was entirely fictional and existed only in the works of horror writer H.P. Lovecraft. But as its notoriety grew, real-life publishers took interest and decided to produce physical copies, which have now taken various forms, including an extravagantly creepy pop-up book. This physical version of the Necronomicon contains many allusions to Lovecraft, and prominently features his mythical creature, Cthulhu. It's developed a reputation as one of the most haunted and unnerving printed works in the world. It's even made a mark on pop culture and has appeared everywhere, from the Evil Dead and Friday the 13th franchises to the afterlife with Archie comics. If you're brave enough, you can visit Massachusetts Miskatonic University to check out the unabridged copy of the Necronomicon. The Orphans story is an epic novel about a Spaniard who heads to the Spanish Empire in South America seeking fortune. It was written between 1608 and 1615 by Martin de Leon y Cardines, a monk who broke his sacred vow. What's remarkable about this novel is that it wasn't actually published until 2018. It was almost published on several different occasions, but the publication fell through every time because those involved kept dying under mysterious circumstances. A Peruvian academic by the name of Belinda Palacios rediscovered the manuscript hidden deep in the archives of the Hispanic Society of America in 1965. When she began working on the book, colleagues warned her of the curse that was said to linger in the pages of the ancient manuscript. While she tried to laugh it off, she couldn't help but be deterred by the unusual deaths that surrounded the book. The deaths were caused by horrific car accidents and sudden and unexplainable illnesses. This of course informed the rumours that the book was indeed cursed, and it's taken over 400 years for someone brave enough to see the project through to completion. The Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage is a 3-part 15th century book of mystic arts written by Abraham for his son Lamech. It was translated to English in the year 1900 and quickly developed a reputation for being cursed. Abraham believed that every person had their own unique personal demon. Through this book, readers could learn rituals and bring their own personal demons under control. They could then learn to perform supernatural feats using sigils of magic words on a grid. But this book has a huge downside. It's believed anyone with a copy in their possession will be haunted by spirits from another realm. They'll also experience terrible luck that will ultimately bring about their demise. In 2013, an online bookseller sold 2 mysterious handwritten and spiral-bound spell books for a whopping $13,865 US. As the sale was being finalized, the seller warned that any non-believers who mess around with these books will bring a deadly curse upon themselves. It's believed that a grimoire or witch's spell book must be burned after the death of the witch who wrote it. These grimoires were written by a high priestess of Wicca named Persephone Adrestia Irene sometime in the early 1960s. It's thought that Irene ran her own coven and was known in her local area as someone who was to be avoided. The 2 books are reworkings of her mother's grimoire and contain vast collections of incantations, curses, spells and enchantments. There's information on how to summon spirits, demons and other worldly entities, as well as how to perform exorcisms should the spells go awry. It's unknown if she's currently alive or dead, but the first pages of her books explicitly warn readers. To those not of the craft, the reading of this book is forbidden. Proceed no further or justice will exact a swift and terrible retribution, and you will surely suffer at the hand of the craft. The buyer and location of the books is currently unknown. Believed to have been written sometime in the early 15th century, the Voynich manuscript is known as the world's most mysterious book and the Everest of historical code-breaking. This cryptic 240-page book is written entirely in an indecipherable language. It's also full of elaborate illustrations, but these shed no light on the mystery and are likened to something from an opium dream. The first known owner of the book was an alchemist named George Baresh. Baresh had no idea what the book was or how it came to occupy space in his library. It was later owned by a string of emperors and other important members of society. There are of course a range of theories surrounding the Voynich manuscript, with many believing the text was brought to Earth by aliens and that deciphering it will unleash a curse that will kill whoever reads it. The Lesser Key of Solomon, also known as Clavicula Solomonus Regis, is a cursed grimoire of demonology. Its original authors are unknown, and it's said to be comprised of texts compiled sometime in the 17th century. The book contains passages on how to conjure spirits of the dead and demons, and how to control these entities to do your bidding. Curses and invocations also play a large role in the ancient text. Esoteric topics like how to become invisible and how to locate missing or stolen items are covered. Recipes for love potions and liquors of persuasion are also scattered throughout the book. This definitely isn't a book you want to own. It's reportedly so cursed that it'll doom anyone who keeps a copy on their bookshelf. Those who have owned it have reported strange occurrences, like pages turning on their own and books flying violently across the room. Strange whispers and shadow creatures have also been reported by owners of the manual. Owning the Lesser Key of Solomon is also believed to bring about catastrophic bad luck. It's said that the only way to break the book's curse is to burn the pages and properly dispose of the ashes. The Codex Gigas, aka the Devil's Bible, is a weighty tome that dates all the way back to the 12th century. This book weighs a whopping 165 pounds and harbours so much negative energy that it would make Stephen King blush. The Codex Gigas is said to be written by a monk who had broken his spiritual vows. For his crime, the monk was sentenced to die entombed behind a brick wall. The night before his death, the monk began writing everything he knew about the human experience in a book. Realizing he wouldn't have the time to finish it, he summoned Lucifer and asked him to complete the project in exchange for his soul. The book was then allegedly completed by the devil himself. It's overflowing with dark rituals and imagery, and even includes 19-inch drawings of the devil and other demonic entities. The Book of Saiga is a Latin essay about demonology that dates all the way back to the early 16th century. Only 2 known copies of the Book of Saiga exist. One was owned by the scholar John Dee, who devoted his entire life to decoding it. Dee determined that the book was full of dark rituals and incantations. However, he struggled to decipher the final 36 pages. Obsessed and frustrated, Dee summoned the archangel Uriel to help with the translation. Speaking through Dee's medium, Uriel explained that the book came into existence when Adam ended paradise, and that it could only be interpreted by Archangel Michael. But if you're thinking of cracking the case yourself, beware. According to the legend, anyone who successfully deciphers the final 36 pages is fated to die within 2.5 years. Tomino's Hell is a notoriously cursed poem written by the Japanese writer Yamato Inahiko. It was first published in 1919 in a book called The Heart is Like a Rolling Stone. The poem is about a boy named Tomino who is stricken with guilt and grief following the deaths of his sisters and father. The poem is imbued with a lot of the author's own pain and suffering, and it's believed these qualities have manifested in the form of a curse. According to the legend, anyone who reads Tomino's Hell out loud will suffer a tragic fate, most likely death. Their soul will be eternally damned and they will descend into the deepest recesses of hell. Exercise extreme caution. Before we get to that #1 spot and take a look at a book that is said to be written by the devil himself, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on channel notifications. That way you'll be completely up to date with all our latest content. The Grand Grimoire is one of the most potent and deadly occult books in existence. It was written sometime in the 16th century by a man who was supposedly possessed by the devil. Therefore, it's often referred to as the Gospel of Satan. This book is full of dark incantations and can teach readers how to summon powerful demons and even raise the dead. Of course, wielding these powers comes with a price. It's said that anyone who reads the Grand Grimoire is offering their soul to the devil. For this reason, the original text is considered highly dangerous and has been locked away somewhere in the Vatican's secret archives.
If you enjoyed this video, then you'll probably enjoy our Ghost Photo series. There's an embedded playlist right there for you to check out. Hit that thumbs up button or leave us a comment down below. We love getting your feedback and comments. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.